Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is Skin. This movie is rated R for very good reasons. It's 2 hours long, and the Movie Review Mom grade that I gave it is an A minus. It's very well done and very powerful. But first, in a quick nutshell, this movie is based on a true story. It's a very dramatic movie written and directed by Guy Nativ, and it offers a very powerful look at insane ignorance, ugly racism, violence, and redemption. It's horrifying and heartbreaking, and a story that's very difficult to watch. And it's not for everyone. First of all, Daryl Lamont Jenkins, who's played very well by Mike Coulter, runs the One People's Project. It's an anti-hate organization in real life that helps white supremacists who are trying to leave their group begin a new life. And that's what this story is about. His father's motto was, "I take human garbage and I turn it into human beings." Garbage indeed. If you want to take a peek inside the gutter, this film will gladly take you there, but it will leave you with a greater understanding and hope. It's a very sobering look at how some people live, and live is probably not the right word. It's amazing how some of these people look at the world and choose to live, and the transformation that can take place. And it's a very difficult, painful process inside and out. As I mentioned before, the movie is rated R, and so it's definitely not for children to watch, and probably not even for teenagers to watch. It's pretty rough. There's lots of violence with various weapons, hand-to-hand combat. It's about racism, as I mentioned. People get hurt in riots. You watch people get tattoos, and you watch the very painful process of getting tattoos removed. So if you or your kids, I guess, are interested in getting tattoos, you might want to have them watch this, or you yourself might want to watch this, because it's a very painful process. As I mentioned, the transformation is difficult on the outside and on the inside. I've heard that Mark Wahlberg went through this process, and he actually had his kids go to the tattoo parlor so they could watch how painful it was, to discourage them from getting tattoos. Now, that's a rumor. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but when they show this process, you just will definitely think twice before getting tattoos. You hear the sounds and see faces and some positions of two different sexual encounters. And you don't really want your kids watching that stuff either. There's lots of name calling, including racial slurs about many different groups. There's profanity, and I counted, there are a zillion F-bombs. So the language is really rough as well. There's alcohol in a lot of scenes. You see somebody throw up after drinking a bunch of alcohol. You see full frontal and rear nudity of a man, which is unusual. Usually in movies, it's always women, but it's actually a man. And you see a naked man sitting on a toilet. There's a dog fight, and a dog actually gets hung from a tree. There are people, adults and children, in perilous situations, some brutal deaths, some criminal activities, and the theme has to do with belonging. Other themes are redemption, racism keeps coming up, hatred, intolerance, dysfunctional families, but the importance of a family, love, hope, people can change, and guilt. It's got some very difficult and complicated themes, as I just mentioned, and I think it handles them very well. You'll leave the movie just devastated and hopeful at the same time. So some quick things that I liked. First of all, British actor Jamie Bell is absolutely fantastic. And it's hard to believe that he's the same actor who starred as the young Billy Elliot. I hope he gets an Oscar nomination because he's just really outstanding in this role and very believable too, I would say. Danielle McDonald also does an excellent job as the strong mother bear who tries really hard to protect her three daughters. She's sort of sucked into this world and she keeps pushing it back. And even a man that she loves, she pushes him back when she feels like her children are in danger. And good for her. I hope mothers will learn a lesson from her to put their children first. I should say single mothers should put their children first in their life. And the reason I hesitated was mothers need to put their marriage as a top priority because that safe marriage will protect their children to some degree. Some other equally great performances were by Bill Camp as a truly evil man. I recoiled every time I saw him on the screen thinking people can't possibly be like that, right? But also interesting was his wife, mother, played by the Oscar nominated actress Vera Farmiga. And I've never seen her play a role like this. And you see her just the evil come out in her, and yet you also see some humanity and some mothering, which is really interesting. She does a great job. I love her in everything. um, I love the layered meaning of the title skin. Skin obviously refers to your actual skin and the judgments that are placed on the color of skin because it's about white supremacists versus black, but also Jews, Mexicans. Like I said, they kind of hit up every group. Also, the skin itself, the tattooing of the skin, the removal of the skin of the tattoo that I mentioned as well. But also the skin that must be shed in order to create a new life. Judgments on skin and the skinhead reference to the white supremacists. I don't know. Did I leave anything out? It's a great title for this movie, actually. The Southern Poverty Law Center gets a shout out, and it partnered actually in real life with the One People's Project to help Brian Widener in real life escape his white supremacism. Get to see real footage and pictures and film of Brian, who the story is about, which I always love at the end of movies about real people, just to see, well, where are they now and how did all of that land? Because the final scene ends and you're like, and what happens next? And so you get to see a little bit of that in text and images at the very end of the movie. Israeli director Guy Nativ created this film, and it's actually his first film in the United States. And I kind of feel badly thinking this is the topic of his first United States based film, and he must just think this country is crazy. And it is. Some of the ignorance and hatred that is stirring up again. It kind of seemed like it was under control back when I was maybe a teenager, and it is just rearing its ugly head again and becoming even worse than at least I remember in my lifetime. He chooses to use some handheld work, which is great. It provides this sort of grittiness to the scenes, and I'm grateful that it's not the shaky cam effect because that always just makes me dizzy and it annoys the heck out of me. But he did it in a controlled manner that I thought was actually really effective. What's interesting and successful about this movie is it actually gets you to root for a neo-Nazi. This character, you want him to pull out of this world that he's living in. And so at the same time, he's doing terrible things. And you're like, ah. Anyway, it does a good job of getting you to emotionally bind with this horrible person, which is a pretty tall order, don't you think, for a film? So many times I wanted to yell, no, don't do it. Which is also good when a film can evoke emotions of engagement like that in a film. And I always liked Mary Stuart Masterson. She had a very small role in the movie, but I liked seeing her there. A few things that I didn't like is, first of all, wow, what hatred. And it's very difficult movie to watch, and it's a movie that makes you very uncomfortable the entire time, fascinated and engaged, but very uncomfortable. And I think that that's a movie that's well done, right? To evoke those types of emotions and engagement out of an audience. So years ago, my husband met some mean biker looking dudes and started a conversation with them and said something like, "Oh, are you guys Hell's Angels or you know what?" And they referred to themselves as being a part of a social group. And my husband just thought that was so funny, but they actually call themselves that. And we didn't know, we just thought they were joking. Um, it's really soul wrenching to watch what these little girls had to experience in their young lives. And the three actresses did a really great job: Zoe Colletti, Kyle Rogers, and Colby Gannett. I thought that they did a great job, and makes you wonder, are they going to see the final movie and be exposed to some of these horrific things? There's no humor in this movie, really. It's a very serious film. It's a drama. There's some time jumping that might confuse some viewers. And personally, I really liked that storytelling format. It kind of gives the ending away to a certain extent, but lets you watch the unfolding of this man's story, which I thought was really great. And there's a moment when the characters become more upset over a dog's death than any of the humans' death. And the movie asks the audience to feel the same way. There's kind of this dramatic music that wants you to feel that way. And I was like, wait a second, that's a dog and these are humans. So I didn't quite buy into that. There are some melodramatic moments, but for the most part, it felt pretty real. That's my review. Viewer beware or be warned. It's a rough movie. But one that's very, very powerful and well done. Anyway, that's my review for today. I hope you enjoy my movie reviews. Please subscribe, and you'll be notified as soon as I post a new movie. And tell all your friends, Movie Review Mom is the place to go to get the heads up on which movies are most appropriate for your family. I'm trying to save you time and money. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate your comments and your thumbs up. So bye for now. I'll see you next time.